What's up, everybody? This week's video, it's a little sad, but you know, this is what the kind of stuff that happens when you're working with animals.
This week, when we checked on some of the blue-tongued skinks, we actually found a big abscess on Sleepy's arm. So big, it kind of burst open, blood kind of shot around, and we had to take him to an emergency vet visit. But
so he was actually, like, when Manny found him, he always had like some weird hands because earlier in his life they tried to breed him, but they thought he was a female, but he was actually a male, and they put him with another male and they fought, and he kind of got injured in the process. But he had healed and everything, and then when Manny found him, he was like biting his own hand and he was bleeding all over the place.
So when we took Sleepy to the vet, a couple thoughts came to mind. Is he gonna have to lose his arm? Because it was a pretty big abscess and it was a big injury. So we took him to the vet. The vets put him on anti-inflammatory and antibiotics. And the reason why he might have been biting his arm is unknown. Whether if it was some stuck shed, because like David mentioned, he did have some weird messed up hands due to previous injuries. So if it was some stuck shed, he was trying to bite it off. He does bite pretty hard. Or it could be a possible tumor. So that's something that our vet did mention. It could be a tumor that started getting big and it started getting uncomfortable, so Sleepy started biting it.
And so what we did when Manny first found him, he was bleeding all over the place. Obviously, you got to take care of the blood. We dried up the blood. We switched him over from the mulch to some papers, so there's less risk of him getting stuff in that injury. Did you clean it with Chlorhex?
Yeah,
so cleaned it with Chlorhex and then put some triple antibiotic on there, some Neosporin, and that's gonna help kind of like make sure it doesn't get infected. And we did that, and then the next day, obviously, we took it to the vet, and the vet does the rest of the work.
Part of his bottom of the foot was kind of necropsied off, which means it was dead. So they did end up cutting off a small piece of his bottom of the foot. Yeah. That's basically what the surgery was. They cleaned it up, and they even gave him a bandage on his arm so it doesn't get wet and it doesn't get infected. So as of right now, Sleepy's on rounds of anti-inflammatory and antibiotics to fight infections. And so we did cut off a piece of his soft tissue in his foot, and we actually preserved that. So if the swelling doesn't go down, we're gonna test that to see if it's cancerous. So we're not
doing like the vet.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna send out the sample, and we're gonna see if it's cancerous or not. If it is cancerous, might have to take off the hand or wherever the tumor is. So hopefully all goes well. Hopefully the swelling goes down. Hopefully the abscess goes down. Hopefully all that stuff goes down. So Sleepy keeps his foot. But as of right now, he's doing fine, eating normal. He looks normal. He'll still try to bite you even if you go in there. So those are always good signs.
Yeah, and what's really scary is because Sleepy is actually not ours. It's a friend of ours, JC's. So we're kind of doing like a breeding loan with him because, we breed most of the blue tongues here. And JC got this albino blue tongue, which there's not many in the country. And there's definitely not, has there been any babies produced? Albinos in the U.S.?
Publicly posted.
Yeah, so basically it's a very, very rare animal. It's something, so when we saw that, we were freaking out. And of course, JC's a good friend of ours, so he understands what's going on. Sometimes things happen with these animals, but we're doing what we can to make sure Sleepy is good. And he's an older animal. He's been around in Florida, passed around basically for a couple years, but hopefully, we get over this hump, he does better, and we could maybe try to breed him this coming season. So we actually got some footage from the vet, and we're gonna show it. So if you're a little squeamish, just skip over about 30 seconds from here. And yeah, it's pretty nasty.
it was worse that we saw it like that there, and I was like, whoa, man, what is going on? Out of every single animal in this house, it had to be that one. But you know, hopefully he gets better. Hopefully we get over this hump, and hopefully he makes some babies in the next season. So fingers crossed.
All right, guys. So I hope you learned maybe one thing or two from this video. Obviously, it's not something we want to happen, but when it does happen, we could always learn from it, and we can show you guys, so you guys learn from something like this as well.
Yeah, and keep in mind that stuff like this does happen when you do get into breeding. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's, there's some stuff that happens. Like a year ago, we had the gargoyle who had to be taken to the vet. So this is something you got to keep in mind if you do want to pursue breeding. And if you like our content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all the social media platforms, and TikTok.
We're making a TikTok, so check us out on TikTok. And if you like TikTok, if you have it, follow us on there.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week.